Villains will start off on the raid. And we've kind of talked about it before, like with this sort of meta going on, red side does have certain advantages when it comes to drafting, but blue side so far, the first pick is going to be so important here, where Claude, the hyper carry, will be taken off, followed by Ling, where, you know, Ling can easily just dive into its fights, so Envy doesn't really want to deal with those high mobility coming in from GEEK fam. So one last ban, what's it going to be for each side?
I mean, they're really thinking about that. Carry is on the table, Uranus, Selena. Like, there's still a lot of meta picks that a lot of these teams kind of put priority on. Last 6 seconds here, it looks like it's going to be Farsa for the side of GEEK fam. So they're ready to take on a potential Selena, as well as allowing the hyper carry to go through for the side of NV.
That's definitely a smart move coming in from GEEK fam, where they have so much options left on the table. This is actually going to force Notorious Villains to do something about it. And remember, Natalia has been pretty notorious as well, coming in as a really solid assassin, which can actually disrupt the back lines. So Notorious Villains is having a tough time to actually figure out what they should do right here, but they remove the carry, which means Selena is up for grabs.
Selena.
And GEEK fam isn't going to hesitate this time. It looks like the lineup that GEEK fam are bringing in today is Zorn or Zoraveki, Arts, Dominus, and Feeks. So Rumpel will not be playing this time round. GEEK fam locking Selena for themselves, and Notorious Villains reply with their own answers. Uranus as well as Jawhead.
Team is picking.
Well, of course, really a good start for the side of NV. At least they've got some really defensive and offensive lineup on the front to actually make it up for, you know, some sort of lost power. But we're looking at GEEK fam here, which I'm not sure if they really want to go for that Layla, but definitely Chao is going to be a really great.
This Cho is going into the off lane, but I don't think it matters too much when you're up against someone like Uranus. But, you know, Granger is a pretty good shout. Definitely would have thought that carry might be the option here, but it looks like they want something that can kind of peel away and have some extra range when they get into team fights, in comparison to carry, who is mobile, but a lot shorter when it comes to range.
Yeah, definitely a concern right there. And now that they've already gotten Granger on the side of GEEK fam, which means Notorious Villains here. Now, with the lack of firepower, they really got to take their pick here. And GEEK fam will negate them from getting a long-range marksman, like you said. So Kimmy being removed, they really got to dig out something out of the meta, something off the wall to actually face off against GEEK fam's side, because they definitely will be able to pack a punch. So Chen here was currently thinking, what should she go for? Well, there is a couple of options there. Maybe they want one in the Indonesian side. We've seen some Rogers, and yeah, that's definitely going to be that pick coming in.
Yep. And, you know, the biggest giveaway was with the high loss, you know, especially, like, why do you need the Glorious Pathway specifically out of all the different ultimate abilities in the game, just so that you can kind of disengage and re-engage into teams, and that's something that Roger really needs. GEEK fam, they lock in the Carmilla as well as the Grok, and this just means that Notorious Villains, they've kind of already locked in their side lane. It's a little hard to hold off on, to play carry at this point of time. Not saying that they can't, it's just kind of difficult.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be pretty harsh on them, but I really do like this Carmilla pick right here. Like, it kind of gives GEEK fam that sort of edge where if they were to actually go in for team fights, it really causes Notorious Villains to think twice on which target to pick first if they can't find a Granger, and they have Estes to protect and shield them whenever necessary. So, well, with that being said, we've seen both sides of the lineup. Which side are you favoring, Gideon?
Honestly, I'm looking at it, and I definitely like the draft of GEEK fam a lot more, but I can understand what Notorious Villains are trying to do, the way they design their type of composition, especially when they want to go in.
Of the MPL Season 5 regular season, and we're starting things off here in the best of 3. GEEK fam against Notorious Villains.
Yep, and they've already started. Xian taking quite a bit of damage here. Arts is very low, but Xian is going to secure the kill. But the flicker isn't going to be enough, and the flame shot coming in from Selena. Oh, this game is already gone. So bloody, so fast, and nobody has really hit level 2 yet.
Yeah, I mean, they really went really hard on towards the bot lane skirmish, and well, it's a 1-for-1 right now, and Zoran's trying to actually steal that away while he has to face off against 3 members of Envy. He's forcing a flicker, but he's gonna be pretty much A-okay, and of course, emotes on the way.
Oh yeah, definitely. But look at the top side of the map. You can already see that GEEK Fam is stealing away the red buff because of the information that was being fed from the bottom side of the map. And you can see, oh, Swan, unfortunately, not even going to get the blue buff as well. And Selena, Dominus, wants to get some more. He's already put some damage into Swan as well as Colia. They're forced to back away. Well played, GEEK Fam. Looks like they are just dominating the map, even when it comes to buff stealing.
Yeah, you can see that they are just taunting them down, just shoving the mid lane and perhaps looking for advantages from the bot side. You know, Chen has gotten himself that first kill, so maybe he might get punished a little bit later on, but they will choose to back away, secure a couple more of that sort of EXP from the jungle, while Becky here will have to face off against Chen, and it will be a fair fight as Hallucinates will arrive to the scene to get his River Crab.
And now Chen is taking her time just proxying the wave with the top side of the map just being cut off entirely here. Chen, she's okay. She knows that Zoraveki doesn't have enough damage to secure the kill, but Chen taking quite a bit of damage for the Death Sonata though. Is this going to be enough? Oh, the Rhapsody follow-up by Feeks is going to ensure that to be a quick kill coming in for the side of GEEK Fam.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate because Chen's almost hit those levels up, but you know, that's going to be the Granger already at level 5. He's going to hit like a truck no matter what, but here comes Arts though, just dashing in. Well, Zoran doing Zoran things here. He's going to be actually pulling a little bit of tension coming from the side of Envy. Well, Swan's just going to soak whatever hit that he can take for now, but Notorious Villains really have to find a way to stop a little bit of that goal bleed. So as it stands, in less than 3 minutes, we've already seen maybe a 1.5k differential in terms of goal.
Yeah, and you know, Carmilla against the Uranus as of right now in the top lane side, it's the only difference. Oh wait, hold on. Arts is coming in with the unstoppable force and the secure kill coming in from Feast on top of the Abyssal Arrow. Looks like they've got a successful dive down a bot lane. It looks like GEEK Fam, you know, making sure that they have pure river control when even since they locked the Selena, making sure that they are abusing her early game power.
Yeah, and of course Abyssal Arrow will be hitting onto Swan, and he will be actually facing up against Trey with that wall charge. He will be knocked up in the air, and that will be the kill secured. GEEK Fam 4 kills it back already.
Yeah, and now Zoraveki just keeping eyes here. He doesn't want to get caught just yet. He doesn't pick up the Cyclone. He walks away scot-free. But you have to admit that the combination coming in from Dominus was really clean after leading with the Abyssal Arrow. He uses the Abyssal Dash just before he drops the trap. Uses his Flame Shot to knock them backwards to buy a little bit more time for the rest of the team to kind of clean it up.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Notorious Villains here. They're only depending on Chen to actually push the top side wave, which is already being proxied by GEEK Fam. And I'm not too sure what kind of lead they actually secure, but yeah, fair point. GEEK Fam, they got enough crowd control. They can pick off fights one after another. And, you know, Zoran is just doing Zoran things. He just have to wait for a proper wild charge to go in for the pickoff whenever that Abyssal Arrow hits. And there goes Arts. He will be kicked off with the Wader Dragon for the killing spree for Selena.
Yeah, it looks like GEEK Fam just wants to kind of spawn to the mid lane as well as the top lane as well, making sure that they're both safe because they know that with the help of Dominus, they are able to secure more kills as Feast comes in with a sick Death Sonata here. Swan won't be able to survive. Oh, he actually does with the with the Revitalize and the Glorious Pathway. The health regeneration was just enough to keep him alive. Zorn unable to kind of clean up the kill at the end there, but looks like Notorious Villain are going to walk away with just only a couple of battle spells burned.
Yeah, we're looking at such a dominant side from GEEK Fam, and they've already opened up the bot side tier 2 as well, which means that Notorious Villains will have no control over on towards the right side of the jungle. And Zorn, he's just soaking as much hits as he can, but he is running away with that wall charge, and still is showing off those recalls and emotes. But, you know, Swan's not having any of it. Well, there will be the Selena up towards the top lane.
Yep, they're just holding their ground for now. Rotation towards top side. Chen is going to be the next to fall, and unstoppable voice coming in from Xian. He wants that revenge. He's got that revenge, and Finks just cannot run away. Well, the moment the Moonwell drops and the hunt is popped, Roger is going to be running you down.
Oh yeah, I just really love to see Rogers really popping up in the mid game, and now he's going to be able to actually at least get back in towards shape to get some of all these core items up on the way. But you know, for the side of GEEK Fam, they've already got Blade of the Heptaseas up online, and of course the Calamity Scythe over on towards the side of Selena. They do have a lot more advantages as compared to Notorious Villains right now, and they really got to do something about the top side. You can see that Chen is having such a hard time to face this one off.
Yeah, again, the struggle is real, but both teams, you know, both putting focuses on the top side of the map. The bottom side has been completely destroyed in the meantime, and that's how GEEK Fam has this 5k goal lead, all due to one lane. But Zorn in the middle of everything, they want to send somebody through. Arts gets ejected over, but it looks like they collapsed right on top of his head. Swan, the next on the chopping block, but nobody has seen Finks just yet in the back line with a very efficient left side angle with the Death Sonata, followed up by the Rhapsody. Just doesn't cut it out. NB is behind. They're gonna go for the dive onto Chen, even though it just doesn't matter. The last shot in with the insured crit from Finks will secure the kill.
GEEK Fam just pummeled down Notorious Villains as they extend in towards their jungle side, and there's nothing much that they can do to defend themselves. One more turtle on the way for the side of GEEK Fam, and they will try to break up the top side tower as well. Well, I'm not so sure at this point. Can they even manage to come back? I'm looking at the side of Notorious Villains. They still need a lot more items to come up, but they will be able to actually find the kill over on towards Camilla eventually, as Ozura Becky will go down.
Yep, and now this is just becoming very difficult for NB to even walk out of their base. GEEK Fam have complete control over the jungle and Zorn because no one is able to stop him and no one's big enough to stop him. He's forced into this position where, hey, it's either you deal with Zorn or continuously have to deal with you know, the recent updates that Zorn is giving his team whenever he's in the jungle.
Yeah, I'm looking at the form of GEEK Fam. They are looking like their championship form. Remember back in the days where they managed to lift the trophy? This is how convincing they can actually play, and you can just see that level of confidence that Zorn has. But here comes Artsko. He will pick him off, and this Hylos is gone. They're looking to actually find Conan as well. He has immortality, but it doesn't matter at all. We can see Arts in the middle of the fight, and it will be Chen running for her life, and that's a double kill coming over towards the hands of Arts.
Yep, there's nothing much you can do as of yet, but he'll have to peel backwards as he continues to fight on. GEEK Fam keeping control over the top side jungle, and Notorious Villains. Hallucinates can only do so much. Yes, he's getting some good damage onto Zorn, and luckily he has his blue buff, but he needs more items, and I don't think I don't think Notorious Villains has the time to kind of just wait or sit around and just let things happen. GEEK Fam is suffocating them through the economy.
Yeah, I'm looking at the economy. It's pretty bad. Like, they are forced to just buy armor and armor only. Look at all the tanks. They're not even beefy enough. Art's going to be looking for another kill right there. And there's going to be a big heal coming from Astus. But here comes Zorn from the back, trying to actually knock down Hallucinates, as the missile arrow will be able to actually land onto one. And here comes more shots from the Death Sonata. Finks will be unstoppable.
Yep, and it looks like Chen was able to make it out of there, but Kolia ended up dying in her place. And now Swan is the next to hit the wall. There's nothing much you can do. He uses the Revitalize, but the second draw coming in from the Abyssal Trap is just too much damage. Dominus doesn't care. He's 4-1. He's still going. Arts in the backline has to 2v1 this situation. It looks like he has dived way too deep into the base of Notorious Villains, but Finks, he's too big. He knows he's too big. He quickly rondos over the wall in hopes that he can catch Hallucinator off of his strikes, but this tower is still standing, and Notorious Villains trade 3 for 2 against GEEK Fam.
Well, Notorious Villains did not die in vain. They protected it well enough, but how long more can they hold on? The mid side is already being forced in, and they really have to get this one away towards GEEK Fam. Well, one more kill for the side of Granger from long range, and boy, even if you want to deal with Finks, you have to go through so many units. Like, Zorn is already a brick wall. Arts is already bursting down members. He can go toe-to-toe with any single one of these NV members, and I'm not too sure, should they even focus on Becky, it's going to be really hard to even find the right targets, but at least they do get a pick off every single time that they skirmish.
Yeah, and I'm thinking for a way for NV to kind of get out of this, you know, because as of right now, GEEK Fam have full control. They can't really push through until they get Lord, but the side of NV, they can't really walk out of their base. They can't even get jungle. It's a 14k gold leaf at the side of GEEK Fam, and it looks like they don't really necessarily have to get the Lord. They can just keep playing off of Dominus's picks with the Abyssal Arrow.
Yeah, now, of course, they're just waiting for the arrow to hit. It does hit, but that's definitely not going to be that area of contest where it's out of GEEK Fam, as we see Arcs just trying to actually find that pickup once again. They're staying behind enemy lines for sure, but when this wave crashes, GEEK Fam could actually take the Lord, but they chose not to. They're just setting up the waves. They want to look for that team fight. They want to find that pickoff, and they want to end this game right here, right now.
Launch attack.
Yeah, but they're synchronizing the waves with, you know, top and bottom. Oh, looks like this is the engagement that they were looking for, but it doesn't really go too much as Kolya pops the ultimate to ensure that his entire team is healthy enough to defend this next push. It looks like GEEK Fam, even though they did get an initial, like, you know, really strong pick, it's not going to be enough, but they cut off with a great Guardian's Barrier, eliminating their exit point, and now NV have been caught off guard. The ejector pulling back Arts. They're going to trade 1 for 2 here. Not too bad. GEEK Fam get a little more.
Well, I really like that perfect ejector over the wall, which managed to actually take that by surprise, but there goes. Chen is down, and of course they will be able to actually open up the top side, ejecting one member off right there for that double kill coming in for Feeks, and it's only going to be Hallucinates left. What can he do? That wave will crash right in, but it seems like GEEK Fam will give them one more hope to defend.
Yep, and now Luminous Lord is back up. Feeks was at 1 HP, so I guess they wanted to make sure their damage dealers were healthy enough to deal with a single Moonwell coming in from Kolya if he does come back up. So, smart decision from GEEK Fam, as considering that Feeks doesn't have any magic resist at all. So, literally any spell would have killed him.
Yeah, that was really some sort of dangerous plays coming over. But, you know, NV is now trying to contest for that Lord. It's going to be pretty tough here. As we can see, that will be Chan there getting picked up by the side with Swan. Still out of position. It doesn't matter if he has the glorious pathway or not. But here comes Ozarbecky. He wants to actually flicker right in, but it will be Chan pummeled by the wall, and GEEK Fam will run them over like a truck. 2 members left for the side of NV as they are still waiting for the wave, but they're already trying to finish off Hallucinates as he will be able to go back into base.
Yeah, it looks like GEEK Fam, they're not even going to touch the Lord at this point. They're just going to play their methodical game. They're going to clear out the waves wherever they can, look to kind of clean this up, because they could have ended the game quite a long time ago, but they are just trying to stick to their disciplines. They got to live by a code, you know?
Yeah, the code will be to show the emotes inside the base and hoping that this Abyssal Arrow will connect to the Hallucinates for them to actually get one more pickup right there. This is definitely toying around the minds of Notorious Villains, which, of course, all they are focused on is only one thing: clearing waves, trying to actually find a way to counter-engage, and maybe GEEK Fam might just be upset right there. But here comes Wall Charge and towards 2. That's going to be fingers coming over from the side of Envy. One more knockup going over on the 3 members, but they are managing to actually hold on. But Chen, with a slither of health, she will be able to back away. Now Zorg and the rest of GEEK Fam, they are actually taking down the high loss, but Chen will not hold on for any longer. This is the 18th kill going for Feeks. It might just be able to find 20 by the end of this one, as Chen will be dropping low ones for her.
Yep, they got into the back line. Arts is going to sacrifice his life as the rest of the team just back away. They're not even ending. They're not even trying to end this game. They're just taking out inhibitor turrets and really beefing up their individual stats at this point, because they could have looked to, you know, they could have looked to God for a little bit more, or at least play for Lord. But it looks like at this point in time, GEEK Fam is starting to realize, like, oh no, we've given them quite a bit of leeway over to Notorious Villains. They're already at 36k. This could turn on their heads if they let this drag out any longer.
Yeah, the moment that they hit level 15, they might just be actually pull up such a good fight. But here comes Zorn right in the middle. They're going to be walling all of these members off on the side of Envy, and they will crash them down. Legendary for the side of Feet as he hits the 2-0. That double will turn into a triple kill right here. And that's definitely Swan backing out already. Chen doing what he can, but of course, this is going to be that situation where Envy will just have to give this one up. They are too far behind, and GEEK fam can just walk right through. But hey, they say, why not we extend this and get the Lord? But they don't want to do that as well.
Oh boy. Looks like this team definitely is taking their sweet time against Notorious Villains and waiting for them to scale into this game. Notorious Villains are still in it, actually. If you look at Hallucinates, even with the Execute, the Twilight Armor just being bought by Swan because he's getting bursted out of nowhere. So having that strong passive, which enables you for 4 seconds to not die, to not receive any sort of damage from your opponents once you've hit a certain health threshold or received a certain amount of burst, that's when you know that might turn them around, and hopefully GEEK fam is ready to deal with a high loss to be living a lot longer than they usually does.
Yeah, and of course, I'm definitely looking forward for that. Swan's really going to step up his game right there. But over on the side of GEEK fam, they're trying to punish Chen, and there's nothing that Uranus can do right now. He's going to be walking around, but here comes Zorn though. That's going to be something he can do. They're going to ram them by the wall, ejector in towards the crystal, as we'll see members of Envy trying to actually clear off all these ways while GEEK fam hunts for those kills. Arts being taken down to 60%. Coley trying to actually hold on, trying to actually heal Chen up as well. But here comes Arts going for that knock once again, and Sword will be setting things up for 24 kills for Phoenix.
Yep, and they've already given him plenty of kills here. Arts hitting that third hit into Kundo. Kolia, the next to fall, and they're just gonna walk away.
Well, this is just torturing to watch. Envy just trying to actually take on this wave, but Chen's just making sure that this wave crashes all the way right in, and waiting for the rest of the members to try to fend off against this. While, you know, Uranus can definitely soak up that Abyssal Arrow without a single problem at all. So GEEK fam here, hitting 18 minutes, they should end this game anytime soon, but, you know, time can wait.
Yeah, and honestly, the more that GEEK fam kind of drags this game out, the better it is for Notorious Villains to actually come back in, because remember that GEEK fam doesn't exactly scale too well into this game in comparison to Notorious Villains. They've got quite a number of scaling heroes. Kolia will always be relevant, and now the ejector comes in, Stan taking a bit of damage. They've already noticed, oh no, GEEK fam is actually a lot harder to kill. They're not one-shotting them anymore, and now they're on the run as the rest of NV find the damage that they've been looking for. Hallucinates holding his ground. He doesn't want to get too greedy. He knows his team needs him in the back line, making sure that they clear out these waves.
Well, seems like a little bit of that overconfidence is biting them in the back. And of course, a little pause coming in the way as well. GEEK fam, although, you know, they are confident, they should actually seal the game and go for game 2 already. Like, this does affect standings in some manner or not. But, you know, they're just having a time of their life for the very final game of their season.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, they're really enjoying every second of it as of right now. But I think they have to kind of just hold out for now, right? Like, what can Notorious Villains do at this point of time? They're holding their ground. They're looking for an opportunity to actually collapse onto GEEK fam. If they don't find that, I don't know. Lord is just going to be knocking on their doors.
Yeah, and of course, Lord will be marching in pretty much anytime soon now, as we'll see pretty much a huge wave being set up from the top side, which will be cleared out by NV. While Selena as well as Granger will be securing some false spurs before coming towards anything at all. While Zorn will always be up in the front line, and Dominus finally picked up his full boots for himself, so moving a little bit faster from this point onwards. not towards the jaw hit, of course, but that's definitely the Lord already arriving in towards the scene right up to the mid side. Oh, beautiful wall charge right across as we'll see him rounding out, and this will be Ozarbeki over the front lines here to actually clear things off, and GEEK Fam will be able to take game number 1 after a long run of 20 minutes and 43 kills. What an absolute smackdown coming for GEEK Fam.
This was a pretty impressive game coming in from GEEK Fam. The total domination just from start to end. They did have little shaky moments once Notorious Villains started to get their full builds, but immediately after that, it's just, oof, what can they do? And GEEK Fam still know that they are on top. Hopefully they kind of speed up their second game, because I don't know, playing with your food like that can bite you in the behind at some point.